everybody, and welcome to another match for our summer 2022 tournament. Today, we've got a match between Edge and Malchior. This is going to be a really interesting matchup today, I think. The stats starting out here, they do get the outside spell, which actually is really interesting. That means we can see some key shenanigans here. No, excuse me. No, that would be return, not outside. My apologies. Outside, you can't do that. With a return spell, you pick up the guaranteed key in the throne room, but instead of using it on the door, you cast return, get you outside without having to use the key. You can have some interesting shenanigans that way, but no, outside we're not going to be able to do that. 5 strength, only 20 hit points. This is going to be a rough start unless they get something like some fairy water or a torch, which in the randomizer can be used as an item in combat to kill things off. Looks like both runners are going to be using an strength HP build, the lowercase z, and we are off! Getting the instructions from the king. Go forth, defeat the Dragon Lord, return the Orb of Light. Now then, first chest. Cursed Belt, Torch. Third one here is the magic key, of course. So, I am Sneaky the Lost. Our tracker today... Malchior had the same mistake I had at first, it looks like. He tried to outside, but you have to return in a city. Vinicus is actually going to be running the tracker for us today, and Archfield Monk is going to be our restreamer. Will be probably joining me here in a bit once he gets a chance to. But looks like this ghost is going to be something Edge is going to take on with this, just tossing the torch. Ghost has stop spell. Not that it makes a big difference. He has defeated the ghost. Unfortunately, Malchior runs into a wolf and gets eaten for breakfast. There was nothing. We haven't gotten into the treasury yet. Unfortunately, up in the throne room, it was a torch. Now, the Cursed Belt is interesting because it does sell for about 180 bucks. Ooh, ghosts have baby breath, which both of our runners find out simultaneously. So, yeah, the Edge, I believe, already did take out a ghost by yeeting a torch at it and then deleting it. But that cursed belt in their inventory is worth 180 gold. You can sell that if the shop has something like a copper sword. It could be a really good thing. Oh! Edge with the critical hit, still only for 4 damage, and gets killed before he can back it up. Malchior, on the other hand, finally found a red slime.
Okay, I am present and accounted for.
And welcome, Archfield Monk. Yeah, this is kind of a brutal start here. Oh, Courage would have served thee well. Malchior hits level 2, 3 power, 1 speed, 2 hit points, no magic, the spell of heal, and the spell of sleep. That puts some options on the table.
Yeah, sleep is super nice to see in this situation. We've got 8 attack power for Malchior now, and he can put anything to sleep that he wants to in this opening zone, so...
Yeah, and that's going to really be able to help for, like, those ghosts that are otherwise quite painful with the baby breath there. You'll be able to just put them to sleep to take them out. Or, just run from them because they're not really worth it. If they could find some scorpions, that would be great.
Yeah.
Star Wyverns with the Hurt More spell.
Yeah, there's a zone. Edge went east, and it looks like there's a zone of some Charlock monsters over here. Right before that, he actually had an encounter with an Axe Knight that had hurt, so that's actually good to see. But obviously right now that's quite out of their range.
Yeah, actually that does, because that makes X Knights an even more free grind if they manage to find one on a spike tile somewhere. But Jerkbird's gonna be jerks. I'm just gonna try for this Magician here.
This is, I guess, plausible. I think Magicians are...
It doesn't seem to be
broken.
doing anything but hitting him, so they're
Yeah.
basically in a slap fight.
I guess Magicians aren't... Actually, off the top of my head, I can't remember if Magicians are broken at 10. But he is just a coin flip to do a single point of damage on any given swing here, so this is not a race he is likely to win.
Yeah, unfortunately not. He was worth a shot.
Yeah, he was a couple steps away from a cave that I think we haven't seen yet, so it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if he goes back there.
I think he's probably operating under the assumption that whatever's in that cave is probably going to eat him, unless it's either tablet or freebie cave. And since he tossed his torch already, tablet cave would be a bit risky to bonk around in, because, you know, there are no monsters down there. You get turned around, that's a reset.
For sure. And, I mean, Edge is having a real problem right now because there's a red slime in one of these zones, but he just hasn't found it yet.
Yeah, Malchior, on the other hand, did hit level 3, got another 8 strength, so he's actually doing fairly well. Still only 22 hit points, unfortunately. but, you know, I mean, 16 strength, 16 attack power, that's starting to get... Ooh, 2 cities down here in the swamp. First one is the town of Breckenary, the home of the cheapest hotel in all of Alfgard, the 6 Gold Inn. We'll leave a torch out for you.
Malchior is at 4 now. That was 1799 it looked like, and he's just going to take a Death Warp. There was the heal spell in level 3 too, so he can fight basically whatever he wants here in these opening zones.
And a third town here.
Oh man.
And the Armored Knight with Hurtmore prevents him from finding out what that town is.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff close by here on this map.
That is the second Charlock enemy we've seen with Hurtmore on tap, which bodes ill for our eventual dive, especially if the armor is in Charlock. Yeah, right now Edge is still in level 1 jail, while Malchior has found Remildar, the place to buy keys, which is the other town in the swamp. He's going to immediately check the weapon shop, see what is on offer here. Broadsword is there, chainmail is there. He's going to grab this bamboo pole. It's just a value low-level pick, but there's some really good stuff in that shop. Edge finally making it to level 2, breaking out of level 1 jail.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough fight. The Drakee's on 5 attack power. There's a little quirk of the damage formula that if an enemy has... if your attack power is +2 of the monster's defense, then it's really bad, and Drakee has 3 defense. You're only going to hit about 33% of the time. So the Drakee's a hard fight, but he's able to get through it.
Large shield is found here in Breckenary as well. He did pick up the small shield as another good low-level value pick, but there are some really good items on offer here. You basically got broadsword, large shield, and I know I saw chainmail just in these 2 towns immediately. It's just some really good value equipment to pick up to go adventuring. And of
Yeah,
course, because it is Rimildar, it is the place to buy keys. We have access to the throne room, which could start breaking things open, especially if we get a gold grind.
Yeah, really, even just a single gold chest in the treasury now that Mal has keys would be quite welcome.
Oh yeah, because then you can go into the back. Oh, he's saving preemptively just in case. Whoa! Scorpions with DL2 breath! That's a spicy scorpion there. And of course, EMP makes the obligatory pussy. Ooh, Silver Harp in the armory, one of the 3 key items. Fighter's Ring is another +2 AP, which is really handy right now. And Herb, and final chest is a refund key. No gold, but definitely picked up some items. He has not yet actually equipped the ring, though. He forgot to put it on. Edge finds the fun police and gets immediately sent back home.
Wow, that's a really tight diagonal zone there. You gotta be careful of where you're walking.
You've got some really, really painful things lurking around nearby. But yeah, Edge is using the Edge from Final Fantasy IV, while Malchior is using good old-fashioned Lunk.
Yeah, Malchior, of course, an avid Zelda 1 randomizer player and does a lot of fun events and helps out newer players over there, so I'm glad to have him over here playing DWR in an event for the first time, too.
Ooh, and a crit to kill off the troll.
Alright, Edge is in Mountain Cave, this cave that we've seen here that actually Malchior is headed toward right now.
That does have 5 chests, and of course, that potentially could enable a chest glitch, but with no gold, unless there's something in the basement. If the basement backs into Garenham, you could still potentially have a gold grind.
This is true. That would be one possibility that's still on the table. We've seen Mountain Cave now, so that's one fewer possibility for what's in the back of Garenham. There was a gold chest on the top floor there, and Edge is at the one off the stairs, which is another gold chest. So really now, even if he takes a death out of here, he's still going to have at least 600 gold on hand, which he can use to buy some of that great starter gear that you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's Hand Axe money, which is in Rimildar, although he hasn't actually gotten to Rimildar. Meanwhile, Malchior hits level 5. Stats are slowly but surely increasing. Did get some MP off of that, though. Yep, sleep and scoot strats. Did not want to play with that Warlock, was not able to run from that Warlock, so slept it and just took off. And there's another cursed belt. Airdrick's armor! Hello!
Very big find there for Edge. There's a lot of swamp on this map, especially close by, so that's going to come in real handy.
And that also means you don't need to worry about buying any armor nearby either. That also dramatically increases your defense points. Now these Warlocks, instead of doing like 10-15 damage, are doing 2 damage.
Yeah, he's got 43 defense now, so any of the monsters that you might find in Zone 0, 1, or 2, any of the starting zones, are defense broken. They can do a maximum of, like, say for the wolf would be 7 damage, and nothing can do any more than that unless they've got an ability. But even those are dampened now with the armor, so...
Yeah, of course, he can't really do much back to them, so that's probably why he's going after this Warlock, which is just going to be a slog, but at least he's got a heal spell. Now Edge is trying to get to that last chest at the end there. Malchior making his way into Brecconary. On a torch on the final one. Speaking of torch, Malchior is stocking up on torches as well. You know, I never did like that particular item shop in Brecconary. That Wanderer always seemed to block me in every time when I used to play it back in the day.
Yeah, it's actually kind of an inconvenient item shop. You really don't want to go there unless you just super have to. They have a heal spell, so the herbs aren't as important right now. But if you need that torch to navigate, then it can be really nice to have that shop.
Yeah, and he also went and bought some fairy water, which is interesting, can be used as an item in combat. Does about as much damage as a hurt spell does, but without checking for hurt spell resistances, with the exception of the metal slimes that just ignore it anyway. But yeah, comments in chat talking about coal, and yeah, I would have to agree, the coal shop is even worse than Brecconary's.
Yeah, the coal shop is terrible. You really don't like to have to go there. It's a kind of groan and roll your eyes anytime you're like, well, I guess I just have to use the coal item shop.
Yeah, Edge now picking up his keys, will be going into the armory, picking up his harp shortly. And the ring, hopefully he'll remember to actually put it on.
Yeah, it was really good for Edge that he had enough MP left there to use outside. Not only that, but also was able to get back with all that money intact that he pulled out of Mountain Cave, so we'll get a look at the Remolder chest here, it looks like, and he still has plenty of money left over to buy some equipment after he got his keys.
Stones of Sunlight. Yeah, he's either got large shield money or he's got hand axe money. He doesn't quite have broadsword money, unfortunately, but a hand axe is gonna be a really good pickup. It's actually in the other shop next door, in Brecconary. So is the large shield. If I were Edge, I would actually be tempted to go back into Mountain Cave to get that gold chest again, just to be able to get that broadsword, because I really like them. But this hand axe is gonna really increase his ability to take mobs down. And even though Malchior does currently have the lead in experience points, that's going to be changing pretty shortly. And Malchior, speaking of, runs into an AK-47 with Hurtmore. Edge managing to run away from his. Yeah, Edge is now one-shotting these magicians.
Yeah, 32 attack power now. He's in much better shape. He'll start to pick up some experience pretty quickly, but right for the moment at least, Malchior has about twice as much experience as Edge does. Still very early.
Yeah, assuming they don't run into these jerks.
Yeah, that's not great. Really navigating anywhere beyond the start looks like it might be rough sledding in this seed.
But yeah, no, that hand axe was exactly what Edge needed to give him, well, an edge. That and the armor. I mean, getting the armor this early in a match always feels good. Haha! He is. Courage and Wit has served thee well. Promoted to the next level. 7 power, 3 speed, 4 hit points. Two magic points, and Radiant and Hurt More! Hello! And now he's heading towards Mountain Cave. If he can manage to get his armor, he's gonna be also running. It is Freebie Cave that Edge has found here. And he did remember to put on that ring. That is the third cursed belt. All 3 search spots are in play. He's already got the stones and the harp, which means it's got to be the token and, either the token, the flute, the necklace, or the big stick.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of really good information to have early.
Yeah, so, of the 3 search spots, you've got 3 items that are really useful, and 1 item that is situationally useful. Meanwhile, Malchior is using the Hurtmore to keep in the running, blowing up things like that. Wolf Lord has now got himself some money. Yeah, Edge is going for this large shield that's here in Breckenary. No, okay, he doesn't quite have the money yet.
I think he might have just reached a critical mass of cursed belts and wanted to make sure to get those out of the way.
Yeah, I can't blame him. Yeah, only 600 gold. And now it's 300 gold. Paying the AK tax. Question in chat, where was armor? You're about to see it on Malchior's side. Right there. And goes outside, and he's actually got the 1500 for the broadsword.
Yeah, he could definitely go that direction if he wants. Now that he has Hurtmore, he could maybe think about the shield instead, but really neither of those choices would be a bad option. Oh. Okay, well...
Whoa!
Red dragons
breath.
With
That's interesting. As here's the thing, red dragons in this version of the randomizer are actually worth 350 experience points, and if they have a tendency to use baby breath, which is definitely a lot less painful than bite more, that definitely makes them an attractive grind option.
100%. You're definitely going to want to see one of those on a tile in the late game, provided you've got enough attack power.
I mean, 2 of our potential grind targets are pretty decent. Whoa, 15 attack power at level 7. Nice.
Very good to see. It looks like Edge is going to get his level 6 now too, so with access to Hurtmore.
And that's going to be his Hurtmore.
Yeah.
We can just sit back here casually, sitting here in the commentator's booth, out there in the audience, watching them and critique them objectively, but when you're running a race, when you're racing someone, the heat is on. Like, with Malchior, picking up that Erdrick's armor, I know at least I would be going, okay, how far behind am I? He's not, but that's the first thing that would run into my head is, this cave is within spitting distance of the castle. If my opponent already had this, how far behind am I? Same thing with Edge getting hurt more. If my opponent, because he knows he spent a lot of time at level 1, if he goes, how far is my opponent if he's been able to get out of level 1 faster? So this is always something that you gotta keep in mind, is running through these runners' heads.
Yeah, 100%. They're probably both thinking about this. Malchior knows he needed to go get a torch before he went to Dive Mountain Cave too, so could have slowed him down even more comparatively. As for Edge, like you said, he was just stuck in level 1 jail there for quite a while, so it'll be interesting to see if this plays at all into their decisions kind of down in the back half of the seed here.
Absolutely, yeah. Some comments in chat about, you know, the song "The Heat Is On." Unfortunately, I don't have a saxophone.
Fortunately, I also don't have a saxophone.
Yeah, comment in chat from EMP, one of our other runners, who actually is going to be racing later on this afternoon. Yeah, he's like, you know, it doesn't matter who I was, I'd be feeling behind if I had gotten to one of those points. So, you know, it's just one of those things that we're sitting back here being all chill and casual and having access to all of this information. Our runners don't, and that puts a lot of stress on you.
Looks like Malchior got a Rogue Scorpion there for level 8.
12 hit points, 11 magic points, and the spell of Stop spell. That's a nice level.
That's pretty good. You like to see resources anytime you have Hurt More already. 4 strength and no agility there, but it's doing okay at level 8. Malchior came across...
has found the Great Mall of Cantlin.
Large shield purchase for Malchior. That seems like a good use of his funds right now. He knows...
Absolutely.
He's seen the treasury. Yeah, you have Hurt More and you know there's no gold grind anyway, so large is going to be as good as it gets the seed in all likelihood, so just go ahead and get it if you can.
61 south, 45 east. Now, they don't call me Sneaky the Lost for nothing. I would definitely at this point go, okay, where's the princess?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't really think we've even seen enough of the map yet to know whether this is countable. It's possible Mal's actually in the region right now.
That definitely feels like a second continent coordinates, potentially. But yeah, no, especially given that Malchior has the link icon, it would be, saved you again, princess! Kiss me.
Malchior's in Grave, it looks like. It was just south of Cantlin here.
Now, some of these runners can absolutely count those steps. Oh, first chest, fairy water, second chest, herb, third chest, in Grave, is the death necklace. Ooh.
Well, that's really interesting because now we know what our 3 search spot items are, right?
It's gotta be token, flute, and sword.
Yep.
Although we don't know which is where.
Yeah, we don't have any idea which of those is where yet, so that kind of presents some interesting choices too. If you've seen all the belts and now you're looking for one of those or the other, probably maybe save the coordinates for last unless you just can't find coal, or I don't know. That's really interesting.
You see, at this point, if I were Malchior, I would dip completely out of Grave, because I know whatever's down there, it's not going to be anything I have any interest in whatsoever. Yeah, herb. So I would just dip right out of there.
Yeah, from our perspective at least, and as you said, it's really easy to think about this because we're just sitting back here, but when you have that belt count and you know there's only 3 key items left, there's actually no reason to dip Grave bottom 2 in this case.
Yeah. Well, Edge has found Jerk. Comment in chat, we've seen all the belts, but the runners haven't. Yes, they actually have. because one of them was in the throne room, one of them was in Mountain, and one of them was in the treasury. So they've seen all three. However, you know, absolutely valid point. We can think about this objectively. But when you're running, it's really easy to lose track of that kind of stuff and go, wait a minute, there's only 3 items left. There can't be anything useful down here. I'm out of here. The other thing is, he's getting a lot of experience down here and another 14 power at level 8. And 11 magic points and repel.
Pardon me. Yeah, I mean, the strength is looking real good for level 9. 61 is a decent total. HP is still lagging a little bit, but for the most part, the stats look okay.
Even these Star Wyverns aren't quite so scary anymore, because with the armor, that hurt more's only doing like 20 damage. Of course, when you fail to run 4 times in a row, it doesn't help. Edge picks up his death necklace, having also made his way into Upper Grave, and is probably also going to dive.
Yeah, he took the right turn there, so that looks like a dive to me.
Malchior, meanwhile, is actually going into the back of the castle and is going to go ahead and restock on keys and probably check out what's in the basement.
Was this where the... what was down here? Stone's Cave? Is this where the other belt was? I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, okay, so this is
where the other belt
this is where the other belt was.
So Malchior had not yet seen that belt.
Yeah.
Okay, so his dive made sense.
Yeah, his dive makes a little more sense in that context. Edge, however, we saw him sell all 3 of his curse belts. I am basically certain that he's seen all 3 of them.
But, I mean... yeah, so... right now, what they're looking for is a town they haven't found yet, because the only 2 towns they haven't found yet are Cole and Hawks, both of which have something they want.
Yeah.
And you always gotta check those things, even if you find a dead end, there's always a chance that it isn't a dead end. And you have no idea how many runs I've seen and run and failed because there was that one area I thought was a dead end that actually wasn't.
Yep, gotta keep an eye out for those one-tile passages.
Oh, Star Wyverns have heal in addition to hurt more. That's just rude. Definitely some jerk birds. I mean, it could be worse, it could be both more, but even so... And at the bottom of Grave, there is a torch. Ooh,
Looks like
wizards would die at Wombo, sleep and hurt more.
Yeah, that's kind of unpleasant. You do have Stop Spell, though, so you can always try one of those if you want.
Not on a wizard. I think they've got a 12 out of 16 resist on that.
Well, the Stop Spell resist is randomized within a certain range, so I think wizards cap at maybe 7 out of 16 now. It used to be a little bit higher.
Stop it. Oh, no. Stop is only 2 out of 16. Although they're almost immune to sleep and hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the Stop Spell, there'll be a maximum for each monster. In this case, the wizard's pretty susceptible to it, so...
Yeah, that would be one way to deal with them, but they're nasty. These reds are a lot less nasty. Comment from one of the people running the community. The wizard's new max is 8 out of 16, so coin flip. And this is an Axe Knight grind in Hawksness.
That's very favorable right now. And without Heal More, it would have to be a target you can hurt more there for it to be...
And there's Heal More.
...worthwhile, and you got Heal More already, and that's the Flute. So now you've got Sword and Token left out there on a couple search spots.
Yep, Coal and Coordinates. Yeah, I mean, this is the grind right here, and this is where Edge is going to start taking off. Yeah, comment in chat from EMP. No time. And here's Malchior fighting it too. This is actually a legitimately close race.
Yeah, I mean, when you have an Axe Knight grind, depending on how your exploration goes, the current experience gap probably looks like a lot. It's going to be about 1,000 here by the time Edge runs out of resources. But that's actually kind of fungible. If you find all the stuff and you get back to the Axe Knight, you can make that up in a very short period of time.
Absolutely. And Malchior is going to go ahead and repel. I'm almost certain he's heading right back to Hawks.
And actually, I really like Mal's pathing there. He stayed south, so he was keeping out of that zone that has the wizards and the red dragons and everything in it for a little bit longer than he would have if he just headed east first. So that was a good call.
And yeah, fighting an Axe Knight grind is also one of those how far behind am I moments, where has my opponent already gotten here? How long has he been grinding on this Axe Knight? Because you're walking in there with Hurt More already on tap.
Yeah, and you've already seen, I think both of our racers even knew before they got to the tile that Axe Knight does cast Hurt some percentage of the time, so it's an even squishier Axe Knight grind than usual.
Yeah, so, wow. And, I mean, like you said, 1,000 XP is pretty fungible. This is definitely an amazing grind, and it's not too far away from the castle either. It makes it very easy to get back to, because one of the things a lot of people forget about grinding is iteration time. If there's no town nearby, that can be real painful.
Yeah, if the closest town for healing or if home is really far away, then you have to take that into consideration too, because the walk back and forth could be dangerous. You don't want to lose your position, so a Hawksness this close with an Axe Knight spike is really favorable.
Yeah, about the only thing that could be even better would have been Swamp Cave in Basement that has something like an Axe Knight. Reds have heal as well as hurt. That does make them a slightly less attractive grind all of a sudden.
On this attack power, at least,
heal and
for sure.
Fire.
Once the attack power picks up the heal, they can swing through that most of the time. It actually will just be a nuisance more than anything, but...
Besides, why bother trying to find a red dragon grind when you've got this Axe Knight asking to be grind?
Yeah, the Axe Knights for right now, until the strength or attack power picks up a bit more are definitely more favorable.
I mean, right now, Axe Knights are 1 hurt more, and if it hits the range badly, a backup swing and they're down.
Yeah. And to be clear, I don't mind Edge fighting the Reds right now because your run chances aren't great for them even on 53 agility, so if they're there, you know, feel free to take them out.
Yeah, you might as well at that point. Edge is actually deciding to continue exploring and trying to find maybe coal, maybe find, some other stuff.
Yeah, it depends. I think it's a decent idea at least to scout a little bit to find out whether or not these coordinates will be countable or if you feel like counting them, and if not, then you're going to need to get eyes on the Swamp Cave eventually anyway.
Yeah, so there's also the argument to be made, when in doubt, grind it out. You've got this Axe Knight grind staring you in the face. Why not just grind up to almost ghost stats and then just explode onto the scene? Of course, the problem with that strat is you could end up over-grinding if you get, a couple of extra levels on the way that you didn't need to worry about grinding.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of a hazard for that reason, but I think I like it in this case. You've already seen a lot of your locations on the map, and for what it's worth, level 12 now, that was a 33-point hit point gain for Edge. He's up to 74 strength now too, so the agility isn't great, but everything else is on the verge of go, actually.
Yeah, I mean, another 30 hit points, and he's in Death Necklace territory. And that's at level 12.
Yeah, level 12, those are pretty good stats for level 12. Your hit points, your magic points are right there. You need the strength to pick up a little bit, of course, but that's definitely in range on level 12. That's above average.
Of course, now that we've mentioned this, the stats are going to peter out, and it's going to be level 19 before he gets another point of strength.
That's usually how it works, right?
Yeah, the stats do have a tendency to rubber band worse than Mario Kart 64. Ooh, Malchior landing the clutch crit to kill off the Star Wyvern.
I'm guessing that Edge right now is probably in the neighborhood of where the count will end up. Unless it's a little further south, but I feel like he's been far enough south now that this is maybe around the area. So this could possibly be countable. It remains to be seen whether either runner is going to be interested.
It could be on the other side of that body of water. There is some land on the other side there. That could be Second Continent.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge north-south from where they started, but...
Yeah, that definitely is... I mean, either it loops back around, or that's Second Continent.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Edge just, killing whatever wanders by. At this point, he's not too intimidated by much outside of some of the Charlock enemies.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot out there with Gilmore. As long as you have resources, you can handle anything that we've seen come up. And they have all of their mitigations too. They can use sleep and stop spell on the enemies that deserve it. So
Yeah, I mean, even the Star Wyverns at this point, if you had to take them out, you could.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you just toss a swing out there, then throw a hurt more.
Ooh, here's a new town. No, that's not a new town. That was...
I think that's Cantlin. Not 100%
I think that is
sure, but I'm
Caitlin.
pretty
However,
sure
we
it's
saw one just on the other side of the screen briefly.
Well, you were talking about those passages earlier that kind of hide from you. There's one here. It remains to be seen whether it goes anywhere, but...
Yeah, Malchior now getting level 12 with the 33 hit points.
Yep, suddenly has go hit points.
Oh, it does eventually peter out into a dead end.
Yeah, so I wonder what the route is to get to that town that we saw across the water. It would have to be to the north and west here, I would suppose. We just haven't seen either runner go that direction yet.
Either that or it could be Swamp Cave.
Could be Swamp Cave, but if that's the case, where's Swamp Cave?
Yeah, where is Swamp Cave? We're missing
here we
Swamp
go.
Cave and we're missing coal. Both of... Ooh, hello.
Yeah, west of Cantlin here, there was another one of those single tile bridges, and Malchior found it. I would think there's not too much room for Edge left to look, so I bet he goes that direction next.
There's
look at this.
Sherlock and a town! The town of Cole,
Well-
right on the doorstep of Charlock. And 4 steps south from the Bath and Cole, we have... Erdrick's sword! Okay. Some plucky adventurer must have dove Charlock, grabbed the sword, tried to come back out, and died on the way out. And
That
there's
was-
Swamp Cave.
That was amazing.
Either that or that's Harp Turn-In Cave.
It could be either. I think those are the only two that we have left, unless we've not seen Tablet yet, which is also a possibility. But from our point of view, at least, we know there's nothing in Tablet Cave.
Yeah, at Swamp, so he's gonna go ahead and rescue a princess again. A Stone Man as a Guardian is pretty tame. They're not the nicest of guys, but they're definitely able to be tackled.
Yep, this will be a pretty quick princess rescue for Malchior. And now Edge sees that town across the water, so he's got to be thinking to himself, okay, now how do I get over there?
How do I get over there? Comment in chat from Tallow. We have Link versus, I want to say, some sort of ninja. Yes, this is Edge from Final Fantasy IV. Or, if you're an old fogey like me who played it on the Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy II.
Oh, Edge is heading back to the east here, it looks like. Or is he going to double back? There it is.
The one tile opening.
So I guess we know now, too, that town has to be Garenham, which, by extension, has to have the harp trade in the back of it. Because have we seen the Rainbow Drop Cave already?
Yeah, we've seen Jerk.
Yeah. I guess I'm not...
Oh no, is this Demon Knight going to stop? No, he got him. Good.
Good call here by Malchior, just have the
There's
princess.
actually a Sparko Bridge too. Malchior returning the princess to her father.
So,
the origin of "Oh, but thou must."
So Edge is just about a half a step behind in exploration, and there's only about 800 experience points separating the two runners here, so this is shaping up to be pretty close down the stretch, it looks like.
Oh, absolutely. This is a really close match. They're both within spitting distance. It's probably going to come down to who can find the staff turning cave first, and who has a more efficient Axonite grind. Well, there are a couple of really annoying mobs in Charlock, so the Charlock dive, if somebody dies on a Charlock dive, that could decide it too.
Yeah, for sure. Anything can happen in Charlock. The enemies that we've seen so far, with the Armored Knight with Hurtmore and the Red Dragon with Weak Breath, the chances of that are probably slightly less than usual, but the agility also isn't very good, and if it doesn't pick up, then even some of the weaker Charlock enemies can give you trouble sometimes.
Yeah, the Armored Knight with Hurtmore is a pain. The Fun Police, they're, the baby breath does make them less dangerous, but they still have Bite More, and they can still stop you 2 or 3 times in a row if they decide you're not getting away. The Diet Wombo on the Wizards is still potentially dangerous. The Star Wyverns, I don't think they're going to be repelling Star Wyverns unless they get an insane amount of defense points at some point. So they're definitely going to be a concern. It just depends.
Yeah, exactly. A lot comes down to what monsters even roll into Charlock. A lot of the stuff we're talking about might be moot if there just ends up not to be, any of the more dangerous monsters there.
That is true. Or it could just be a trolly annoying grind with stone men around every turn. They're not that dangerous, but they take 3 or 4 turns to kill. Wizard with the Giant Wombo taking on Malchior. Malchior gets blocked again. Okay, burns a heal more. Now, Edge actually went south first. He's doing some more exploration with Princess in hand.
I really, really like this play. He's seen that town across the water, and if he's, being heads up about this, then he knows that's got to be Garenham, which likely has the harp trade. And this is, in fact, that town that we saw, so...
And it is, in fact, Garenham.
Yeah, if he can trade the harp here, then that routes really well. He just goes back to First Continent. He's seen that part of the map, so he basically knows where the count's going to end up. And we just get confirmation of that on Malchior's side. So this will line up a little bit better for Edge in terms of his routing.
Yeah, he won't need to have to go back to mountain or swamp for anything. He's gotten the key item that's on the other side of Swamp Cave now. So yeah, I do like this play by Edge. It will certainly help him, because once he does this, he can just hit the return spell, give the princess back to her father, get the token, talk to the jerk, and now you're on the Axonite grind.
Yeah, it's exactly as you say. It'll just line up really, really nicely for him.
There is a silver shield available here, but I don't think they're going to bother with it.
Likely not. Even if they have to be on, heaven forbid, they have to be on the Axonite grind long enough to get enough gold for it. But even beyond that, Edge is still sitting with a small shield, so I think he would have been satisfied to find a large there.
I'm surprised Edge hasn't just hit the return spell. Up, there he goes.
Yep, there it goes.
I did not see Malchior put on the ring at any point. Ah, okay, from Aaron apparently he did. So at level 13, they have an AP of 124. So to calculate the damage they're going to do to DL2, that's going to subtract 100, so that's 24, divide by 2, that's 12 for your maximum, divide by 2 again, that's 6 for your minimum. So we're not there yet, although we're getting close to enough health for Death Necklace strats, which would put it at a 134, which would definitely be roughly the same as Fairy Water, and that would definitely be absolutely doable on, 12 heal mores?
Yeah, 12 heal mores. So for sure, if they're in a position where they get, say, on the next level, if 14 brings, even 5 strength, or if there's enough HP to use the Death Necklace, they can go right away.
Absolutely. I mean, you're seeing a sub-16 viable Charlock potentially here. For that matter, we might even see the initial Charlock dive start sub-hour. Yeah, but Malchior did get the token, he did find the coordinates.
Yep.
So, right now, he's having to trek all the way back through Swamp Cave to Garenham. Whereas Edge is almost at the token. Because once he hits that token, all he has to do is hit return, go to Jerk, get the drop, and just start hammering those Axe Knights.
Yeah, and he's only one Axe Knight away from the level for what it's worth, so 14 might be go if he just gets any decent encounter between now and when he makes his turn, and he could just be ready to take off.
Yeah, I mean, these stats are actually kind of trivializing the value of that grind, because they may not need one.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that with all the, everything that's gone on this seed, they'll have, they'll be in a position where they really won't need much of an end game grind.
Malchior just found Staff Cave. Oh no, excuse me, Swamp Cave.
Yeah, I think he's looked everywhere, and so he's going to try to go back through now.
Yeah.
So he knows this is his last place to look.
Unfortunately, oh, okay. Edge is now has his drop, and he's going to do this Axe Knight grind, and we're gonna see what level 14 brings. Courage and Wit has served thee well. 1 power, 16 speed, 23 hit points. We are now in Death Necklace territory, and that agility shot to the arm was amazing. Those look like ghost stats to me.
Yeah, very welcome agility boost. 135 now, so that's a range of 8 to 17, but it's on the higher end of that one, so you would expect to only need about 10 heal more so long as everything goes okay in the fight, no back attacks and everything, so definitely has enough to go right now, and he's done the
I would swing
set.
By Breckenary and pick up a large shield, though. He only has a small shield.
You can do that. It's a difference of 6 defense, which does shift DL2's damage range by a point in both directions. So if you want to grab the large shield, I don't mind that play. But I think really with the HP where it is, you could probably, even after the Death Necklace, I wouldn't be too worried about it.
I mean, on 69 defense, it's what, a 53, 54 max?
Uh, 53.
53, yeah. Here we go. Here's the armor. Here's the large shield. The defense power is no longer nice, but the sacrifices we must make to take out the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, so that saves him 2 max damage against DL2. So max is 51 now.
Which is still not good. I have seen way too many times Oh, I'm at 49. I'm okay. He can only max breathe for 48. Oh, wait, that was a 50 physical because my defense sucks.
Yeah, you do have to be heads up about that, but at the same time, depending on the situation, sometimes you have no choice. You have to take those swings. They are, risky, but it all kind of depends how the Dragonlord fight goes. So we'll see what happens and what Charlock looks like, and if he can get down there with all of his resources, he's in really good shape.
Absolutely. Assuming he can get there with enough resources, this blue dragon is being annoying. But then again, you've got the town one step away from Charlock. I mean, you're gonna have to, literally, you cannot not go through the town. You have to go into and leave the town to get into Charlock, so you might as well spend the night at the inn there, completely top off on your way down.
Yeah, it's like when people are giving you directions and they say, you can't miss it. Well, you really can't miss Cole in this one.
It's like, what was that anime where you had the town literally backed up against the dungeon? Probably half of them. Or at least half of
possibly.
half of the the shonen style adventure anime.
Yeah, slightly out of my wheelhouse, unfortunately.
I mean, you even have your princess waifu. Yeah, now, one thing that is going to be potentially dangerous here, there are golems that exist. We haven't seen too many of them. We don't know exactly what they're going to do. But that could definitely pose a problem because they're very difficult to run from. Now, he does have his flute, so, there is flute and run strats. Comment in chat from Beta's Trap. Show me high agility and I'll show you a 6 times run fail in a critical spot.
Yep, agility weights those run chances, but it does not by any means guarantee or certify them.
It's only a weight.
Yep.
Yeah, those blues are also going to be annoying. Unfortunately, these Star Wyverns are also obnoxious. This preemptive attack with Twin Earthmores is not helping matters at all. Fortunately, he does manage to get away here without having to burn a heal more, because right now, we're counting resources if we're going to take on this Dragon Lord. Now, with only 75 defense points, he does not have enough to be able to repel anything here, which is going to be a problem.
Yeah, all of these enemies, like the werewolf, can be a little bit of a nuisance. Werewolves, yeah, it's very good run chances against, but got blocked there a couple times anyway.
Malchior also having to deal with these Star Wyverns on the overworld map. Edge is just trying to progress. This is still a close fight. This could still go either way. The Edge has a slight edge. He's got first dibs, but a preemptive golem could ruin this dive instantly. Meanwhile, Malchior fighting with the true final boss of the game in PC pathing.
Yep, nothing you can do about those guys. Speaking of run blocks.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the item shop in Coal and to a lesser extent in Brecken area is so painful because you get one of those NPCs pathing in front of you and you're just kind of stuck.
Looks like there are red dragons in Zone 2. And
Having to burn a heal more
yeah.
feels bad. Should not change anything, but it still just feels bad.
Ooh, the reds can hit for 41 now. Edge has got to be careful here.
Yeah. 2 heal mores burned on this red dragon. That makes the Dragon Lord fight a lot sketchier. We're now down to 11 heal mores in the tank.
Yeah, he's still okay right now, but he's got to get there with all of them, and he just used his last herb, so the rest of this dive is going to have to go pretty well. Malchior's in now too, so he's hot on his heels.
Yeah, this is a close race, folks. It all comes down to Char luck. Action Knight preemptively attacks with a hurt spell for 2 damage. Yeah, he's just trying to get away, and this encounter rate, what is up with this encounter rate there?
Yeah, Edge has just been swarmed this entire dive. It certainly feels like more encounters than usual.
Yeah, there was a comment in chat about potentially, swinging by the Treasury and Charlock just to pick up an herb or 2, potentially, but given these things, given all these enemies, I think it was the right move to pass on that. You would have probably burned the herb anyway.
Yeah, he does have... let's see. He doesn't have any herbs left, but he does have spare casts of heal if he wants them.
Oh no, he was trying to hero walk and got a preemptive attack from a blue. At 115 hit points, he's using a heal spell, which doesn't change the fact that he still has 11 heal mores in the tank.
So this looks pretty okay. I would expect him to need 10 heal mores for the fight. He's going to put the Death Necklace on first turn and go to 135 here. But DL1 can chip away at your hit points a little bit too. That's a good opening swing, 38.
Oh, there's the hurt more you did not want to see. Still, walking into DL2 with 87 hit points, actually not too bad.
No back attack.
No back attack, so we start off.
Ooh, okay. In danger there. He's not gonna.
Yep.
Yeah, can be hit for 51 still. So as we mentioned earlier, has to weigh those decisions carefully.
If he had gone ahead and grabbed that double, he would have been at literally 1 hit point. But yeah, there's no need to risk that now. We're on average, he's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, if he'd gotten back attack there and needed to opening heal more, then that's a spot where every time that comes up, you're basically pressed into taking it.
That would have been a lot more tempting to just try to swing and hope you don't get physical for 50 or 51.
Malchior, meanwhile, on the final turn here, just about at the boss tile, and has virtually all of his resources intact.
Yeah, he's got tons of herbs. He's got more MP. His dive was a lot more generous to him. So this should be a pretty free fight for Malchior. The question is, will Edge come out ahead first, or will the Dragon Lord claim his life?
Yeah, that's really all we're down to right now, because Malchior is in this fight. He gets a stop spell, so he probably won't even have to heal on DL1. Yeah, a couple of real good swings.
Necklace?
He did Death Necklace, so 135 for Malchior, and gets an opening attack and might even get an opening double.
Yes, he does get an opening double. Yeah, this is clinched for Malchior.
Oh goodness,
Edge, on the
here
other
we go.
hand, thou hast done well in defeating the Dragon Lord on the last swing. Break out your GGs.
Yeah, really fantastic race there. We had a couple of different strategies in the early game. Malchior getting to hurt more first, Edge getting his armor first and doing a little more exploration first, and in the end, I think it was really just Edge's routing decisions at the end there that really paid off for him, being able to get the staff and the drop and finish this one off just ahead of Malchior.
And done with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, 27 seconds. Comment in chat. My timing is about as good as my race with TK. Hey, you got nothing to be ashamed of in that match, okay? What you did the hero count. And GG Edge.
Wow. There's a lot of that seed that felt very dirty, but I'm super happy it turned out the way it did.
And GG to Malchior, having just also defeated the Dragon Lord. You were that close.
I'm not gonna lie, like, that last swing I was definitely clinched, and I was like, oh, please don't, please don't, please don't.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Malchior actually had a better dive and came in with full resources and 5 herbs. So he was not worried about this fight, whereas you kind of had a pucker factor 12 moment there.
Indeed, when I walked in and got the bottom floor, I looked and went, oh no, I forgot to grab herbs.
Well, this win that you narrowly grab does guarantee you at worst a tiebreaker into the brackets.
Well, that's definitely good to hear, and I mean, good GG to Malchior. I mean, I knew this was going to be a tough race coming in. Malchior's a good runner, and I've been out for a little bit, but it was definitely a fun run. I'm not gonna lie.
And welcome, Malchior.
Oh my gosh. If I didn't have that Wraith Knight death, this would have been like to the second.
Yeah, pretty much. Either that, or if you had gone ahead and finished your mountain or your swamp dive to get to the staff cave.
Yes. Oh gosh. Damn it.
That
yeah, I'm so mad about that. I told myself when that's like I was counting the items. It's like, okay, 3 curse belts, 3 items remaining. All I need is girl, and and go get the search spot. And then after I did it, I was like, where's the Staff of Rain Cave? Where's the Staff of Rain Cave? And I knew I lost at least 5 minutes to that.
Yeah, Edge did do it all in one go. He
Good job,
rescued the
Edge.
princess, went south, found Garenham, got the trade in, then returned the princess to Daddy Dearest, and proceeded unto the... Well, I would say proceeded into the grind, but there wasn't much of a grind. You walk into Hawks, get the level, you're like, those are ghost stats. I'm out of here.
I was questioning it, but I marked something wrong on my spreadsheet, and so I had my HP at like 129. I'm like, I don't want a Death Necklace 129, and so I propped up the status, and I saw 141. It's like, oh crap, I'm behind.
Hey, it was a close race this whole game. There might have been times where one player or the other had a little bit of an edge, but y'all were doing a pretty good job of keeping up with each other the whole time. Edge did find Erdrick's armor first, but he spent longer in level 1 jail, while you, Malchior, ended up getting out of that a little bit faster, getting to hurt more sooner. So, for a while, you had the experience lead.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I felt scared throwing that torch on the ghost, because I'm like, if it low rolls, I'm going to get Dragon Breath in the face, and I can't attack this thing yet.
Yeah, I didn't find out until after my second ghost down, and I was like, well, this ain't so bad, and then tried to go for the cave that was up there and caught it right to the dome.
How many deaths did you have, Edge?
15.
Okay. I had 12, which is kind of in my average right now.
I didn't break out of level 1 for almost the first 4 or 5 minutes. It was awful.
Yeah. Gosh.
And then the lucky Drakee.
Damn Wraith Knights. Oh my, I was telling I'm like, why am I fighting this one? And then he had sleep, and I'm like, I kill it on the next swing, might as well, and then it dodged. And I was like, oh god, oh no.
I think I
That
saw
will teach
one
me a
Wraith
lesson
Knight the whole game.
from now until the end to come. That will teach me a lesson.
Well, either way, it was a good match for both of you. I mean, both of you had your advantages. Edge did manage to eke out ahead a victory, but this was a really close match. One of the closest matches I've seen in this tournament so far. Both of you acquitted yourselves honorably.
Oh, good stuff. GG's, Edge.
And GG's to you, Malchior. I'm just happy we got this one knocked out for you, and this was a fun one. I'm looking forward to, now that my race is over with, trying to get back in this booth and do this thing.
Gotcha.
Speaking of which, there is another match coming up later on this afternoon. Already started in progress is one where you've got DK versus Z, and at 9 o'clock we've got a couple of matches. One of them is Silly Dabbit versus Centroid, and one is Tilo versus Stags. Then at 10 o'clock Eastern is going to be EMP versus F. Coughlin, and Secret Agent Man versus Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, and that one will be here on DW Randomizer just a little bit under 2 hours from now. It'll be a quadcast, so we'll get the two 1v1s at the same time. Should be a really good race.
Nice.
EMP's looking to try to claim that top spot in the Druin group, and Mand and Dr. Mr. Holmes also fighting it out there in Red Slime group, so those are a couple really good matches.
Yeah, and these are some good runners too. I mean, these guys don't play around, so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So with that, though, we should probably get out of here. Edge, Malchior, anything else you want to talk about before we let you go today?
Just thank you guys for getting this put together. Thanks for everybody tuning in and watching this fun race. And Malchior, once again, GG's, man. Really close.
Yeah, GG's Edge. I can't wait to watch that one back. Thanks everyone for putting this on. It's gonna make it enjoyable to watch the VOD back now.
Always a good time.
Alright. In that case, this is Sneaky the Lost. With me in the commentators booth and doing the restream is Archfield Monk. Venicus has been our tracker for the day. Give him a big round of applause, and we'll see you in the next race.